The 2017-2018 Lance Cali Classic. Lance Powersports takes a stab at the cruiser market with the Cali Classic model range. Produced by the Sanyang Motor Company since 2010 and branded for Lance, the Cali falls into areas already covered by other models in the lineup, but it offers a bit of a more Western flavor in a bid to draw more of the North American market. Neither Sim nor Lance are particularly well-known entities on this side of the pond, but they might be worth a look for someone in the market for a scooter in the 50 to 200cc range. New last year, the Cali Classic 200i replaced the 150, bringing fuel injection to the table. Continue reading for my review of the Lance Cali Classic. Lance Cali Classic design. The Cali displays a certain flow that is completely devoid of any sharp angles or strong features, but instead shows an almost organic symmetry. No doubt about it, the Cali Classic family is a rebranded Sim Allo. This is no surprise considering the relationship between the two, and in the 50 and 125 models the only difference seems to be the Allo graphic on the side of the rear covers. One notable difference is the addition of the fuel-injected 200i to the Lance lineup, whereas Sim stops at 150cc in its Allo range. A semi-dome leg shield leads the way with a very clean face that sports a chrome trim piece and a couple of vents, but nothing that disturbs the simple yet tasteful panache. The front fender comes in monochrome with another chrome trim piece that forms the tip of the spear as it were, and ties the fender and fairing together visually. At the top of the control column we have some very motorcycle-like features. Buckhorn handlebars run with a cruiser-ish pullback shape that encourages a laid-back and relaxed riding position. The bar is utterly naked, with none of that enclosed Italian handlebar headlight instrument cluster business. Standoff turn signals and a lone headlight can join the exposed control cables and wiring in all its glory, leaving absolutely nothing to the imagination. Mid-height mirrors finish off the top front, and while they aren't the coolest mirrors I've ever seen, they certainly aren't the ugliest. Moving aft from there we come to the full step-through with a side-to-side flush deck that leaves plenty of width for between-feet storage, but little legroom for the rider. If you're over, say, around 5 foot 9 inches tall, you're likely to feel a little cramped in the legs. Flip-out passenger pegs accommodate the pillion, and a chrome grab rail finishes off the passenger's details. From the dome-shaped front to the tapered, chrome-trimmed tail, the Cali displays a certain flow that is completely devoid of any sharp angles or strong features, but instead shows an almost organic symmetry. Definitely one of the better-looking, non-classic styles available today in my humble opinion. Lance Cali Classic chassis. Brakes and the combined braking system puts the 200i head and shoulders above its smaller siblings. A tubular steel underframe supports the structure sans help from the body panels as you would have with a monocoque design. Not only is this an effective building method, but it also makes body work more easily accomplished if you bang one up a little bit. Motorcycle-style telescopic forks float the front end while a coil-over monoshock tames the motion of the swing-mount drivetrain. We see a little difference within the family members when we get to the running gear. The 50 and 125 models run the same 12-inch cast rim up front complete with a 110/70 hoop and 180 mm hydraulic disc brake, but the disc on the smaller two models is of the vanilla variety while the 200i sports a 190 mm wave-cut disc. Drum brakes slow the 10-inch rear wheel on the 50 and 125, but the Big Brother sports a 220 mm rear hydraulic disc. A combined braking system shares pressure from the rear brake circuit with the front for safer, balanced braking, especially in panic brake situations, and this puts the 200i head and shoulders above its smaller siblings. All three carry the same 30-inch seat height that should be within the means of all but the shortest inseams. Lance Cali Classic drivetrain. All three engines use a one-lung configuration, but the 200i comes fuel-injected. As the ingeniously clever names suggest, the three models come with different power plants. At the bottom of the food chain we have the 50 that runs a 49cc thumper with an 11.8:1 compression ratio. The smallest mill produces 1.9 horsepower at 8,500 revolutions per minute and 1.56 pound-feet of torque at 6,500 revolutions per minute, and comes with its top speed governed at 30 miles per hour. Next up the chain we have the 124.6 cc 125. The mid-range engine cranks out 8.38 horsepower and 6.14 pounds of grunt with a compression ratio of 9.6 to 1 and top speed around 59 miles per hour. At the top end, we have the 169cc 200i. Big Brother runs a 10.2 to 1 compression ratio with electronic fuel injection that replaces the carburetors favored by the other two. At 5,500 revolutions per minute, the engine cranks out 9.21 pounds of torque with a total of 11.8 horsepower on tap at 7,500 revolutions per minute. All three engines use a one-lung configuration with an overhead cam-type valve train. A ceramic cylinder coating extends engine life across the board and works with the air cooling system to effectively draw waste heat out of the engine. As ever, a continuously variable transmission makes the final connection to the rear wheel for effort-free riding. Lance Cali Classic price. All three are squarely in the budget-minded category with MSRP from $1,800 to $2,700. Budget-minded comes to mind as I consider the menu before me. The small, limited-speed 50cc model rolls for a low $1,799 while the 125 asks only a couple hundred more at $1,999. Both of these are available in butterscotch yellow, arctic white, ruby red, midnight black or sky blue. At the top of the column we have the 200i with its $2,699 sticker in matte black, matte chocolate, matte white, or the new for 2018, matte stealth. Lance Cali Classic competitor. There's quite a difference in price, so if you don't need that Vespa name, the Lance Sim products are certainly worth a look. Piaggio is the yardstick by which all other scooters are judged, so I figured it was fair enough to grab the Sprint 150 by Vespa for my head-to-head. Looks-wise, the Vespino effortlessly exudes that old-school, Italian scoot vibe, but honestly, the Cali isn't far behind as far as curb appeal is concerned. Some obvious differences between the two would be the classic handlebar fairing that tidies up the control area of the Sprint, and the one-sided, trailing link front suspension, all of which is typical of the brand. The Vespa runs a hydraulic disc up front with a drum brake in back, but still manages to get ABS protection on there for an advantage over even the CBS brakes on the Cali 200i. Vespa claims around 59 miles per hour and 110 mpg from its 154.8 cc mill for a top end that's a trifle shy of the 65 plus claimed by Lance, but better mileage than the 89 mpg from the Cali. Between the ABS and Vespa's name power, the Sprint is doomed to be the prouder of the two at $5,399, substantially higher than the more frugal $2,699 sticker on the Cali. Not a big surprise here, and if you don't need that Vespa name, the Lance Sim products are certainly worth a look. He said. My husband and fellow motorcycle rider, TJ Hinton, says cute little scooter I reckon, but looks just like a third of everything else that's out there if you ask me. Having never lived in scooter country, I have a hard time seeing how these are useful in the States. When I was in Europe, there were plenty of scooters, and the infrastructure supported them quite nicely. Here, not so much. She said. I really like this Cali Classic, especially the new 200i. It's a little powerhouse of a scooter that can bob and weave through the city like a boss, easy to park and easy to filter through traffic. I'd definitely put a windshield and a top case on this. It's a nice little commuter for the campus or the office. I'm not a big fan of the matte colors, but that's not a deal breaker. Lance Cali Classic specifications. References. Vespa Sprint. See our review of the Vespa Sprint.
If you liked this video, please share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.